Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So, anyways, I want to say thank you to everybody that like, comment, subscribe to my videos. I really do appreciate it. I have been having tremendous amount of technical difficulties. Just can't get my camera to work. Can't get to auto to work like it's supposed to. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about Growing Up Hip Hop LA. Season 3, Episode 6. Let's talk about Pep. Let's talk about Pep, baby. Let's talk about all the things I'm about and that may be. Anyways, so we start off with, Angela and Vanessa. They're shopping and they're doing something. And then they're talking about Darian. And then, Vanessa asks Angela, has she reached out to her sister Darian? And Vanessa was like, and Angela was like, nah, I haven't. So I would just like to say with that, it just seems like since Angela's the older sister, she should reach out to her sister and try to talk to her, try to go visit her and things like that. Just put in more of an effort because you are the older sister, you are more mature, you are a mother now, and just bring the baby along, but just reach out to her, text her every day, FaceTime her every day if she doesn't respond, but just let her know that you're really open to change. Like it has nothing to do with the TV show, has nothing to do with that you really want to have a open, honest, and a sister relationship with your sister. So you just have to pursue it because right now Darian is in a hurt place and she feels like she's been abandoned by you, Angela. She feels like you're not around or whatever. So it is going to take one person to really be the bigger person and just reach out and continue to reach out to build that relationship. Sometimes it just goes down that way. So we get to Egypt. Egypt is reading the book, and she's reading the book and it's in Pep's voice. I don't know if Pep had audio for the book as well. I'm pretty sure she did. So it's like in her voice and she's reading it, and it's really sad that Egypt has to read the book alone and by herself. It should have taken place a long time ago. Pep should have set her daughter down with Tretch and they should have went through the book together, or Pep should have set Egypt down and talked to her about the book and everything like that, and then go through the book and then have her talk to her father about it. Have some type of conversation about the book where Egypt doesn't feel like she has to go behind her mom back to read the book. And it's just like everybody knows what's going on with her moms. Everybody knows what's going on with Pep. Everybody, even I know, because I read the book. So it's just like your daughter don't even know. Like that's the first thing you take care of is your immediate family. You make sure your immediate family knows what's going to hit line, what's going to hit the internet, what's going to hit this and that, so they can be prepared for it. And you tell her about it in the process of writing the book, even when she's younger, so she can have a better understanding of things. And then have her talk to her father about the situation, explain his side of what he thinks has happened, so he can make the apologies and say he's sorry and all this other stuff. But the book was really terrible. It was horrific to hear what Pep said she's been through. And since Tretch did not go after Pep for writing the book or state in a disclaimer, to my knowledge, it's like everything in the book is true. And it's like Tretch used to be a monster. I don't know if he's a monster today, but he kind of showed monstrous characteristics and behavior when he was on couples therapy with his wife or his girlfriend, and it looked really, really bad. So when I saw him on couples therapy a couple of years ago and then reading Pep's book, I was like, OMG, I felt sorry for the new chick. But I do have respect for Tretch because there's two sides to a story, and he said a little bit of his side of what happened between him and Pep in the book, but it wasn't much. So I think they should have had that conversation with Egypt. Egypt should have known about the book. Everybody that she's running with and hanging with, and everybody that knows them, knows about what happened to her mom. And that's just like the most horrific thing to know, that everybody knows like these deep dark secrets about your mom and your family and you don't know. So hopefully this is just a storyline. This is just for TV. But I don't know if it is or not because the way Egypt broke down crying in the boxing gym. But I think Pep should have really talked to Egypt. The best time to talk to a young person a young child, a young adult, is when they're really young. She's young now, but even younger, so she can have a better understanding, better outlook on things, and not be known that everyone's going whispering about this is what your mom been through, this was what happened to your mom, and you don't even know. I'm surprised, Egypt friends didn't come up to her, was like, yo, your father's a monster, do you know what your mom been through? So we'll see what happens with that situation. We'll see if Tretch talks about the situation with Egypt on TV or whatever. Maybe he'll talk to her personally. That'll be good. And so we move on to Chris and Nia. She's going to meet with her new agent and everything like that. And then the new agent said, there's a big rumor going on. Your grandmother started a rumor. It's on Inside Edition. Check it out. And it's about, the secret child that Janet Jackson had with, Chris and Nia's father. My mother was, born back in that time, and she was, an avid Jackson fan. My mom lived in LA. She lived all over the place. And I remember her telling me about these rumors maybe like 10 or 11 years ago. And she said, yes, Janet Jackson did have a secret child with one of the DeBarge brothers or whatever like that a long time ago. And to see it come out now is just like, oh shit, my mom told me about that. So we'll see how that situation plays out. And then also, it's just sad. Like, I really think about Egypt and that situation with Pep. It's just that I wish, Pep would have told her a long time ago, and where she didn't feel like she had to go out and try to get this information. So we get Deja. She meets up with, Vanessa. They're talking, and Vanessa talks about her relationship with her sisters and how it went terribly wrong, and there's nothing that she can really do at this time. And DJ, I guess her name is DJ, she talks about, what happened at speed dating, and she's not going to bother with Brianna at all because Brianna was disrespectful, and she couldn't really enjoy herself at speed dating because Brianna was all up in the business, forcing her up out of her seat. And Brianna also Chris and Nia talking about don't stop effing that old man. So, and anyways, DJ, she's having a boxing party, a boxing thing where she's inviting all the ladies, but she is not inviting Brianna because her and Brianna are not friends, and she don't want to invite her to the event. I wouldn't want to invite her to the event as well. I think DJ, she's a well-spoken young lady. So is Vanessa. I think, they have class. And the thing about it is, I know Brianna, she doesn't have class like they have class because she hasn't grown up like they have grown up. And Brianna has a dark past. She's been homeless. She's been on drugs. She's been abused. She's been through hell and hot water. She used to eat ramen noodles and things like that. So being around this type of environment is so different. It's so hard to latch on and become your environment, instead of she's self-destructing in her environment with the other ladies, when she can actually learn something and actually develop a brand for herself with these ladies and have them help promote whatever she wants to do, especially if she's doing photography. But I understand where Brianna's coming from as well, but it is what it is, right? So we get to Boogie. Boogie goes home. He talks to his daddy. He let Dame Dash know he has a DUI, and he was pulled over, and and he was drunk. Basically, he was intoxicated, and Dame Dash is upset. He was like, "Oh, this happened months ago, right?" And he was like, "You should have told me. I don't know why you didn't tell me. I don't know why you felt like you had to lie to me." And Dame Dash was like, "I only told you to lie to police. Lie to the popos, lie to 5-0, lie to the 50s, lie to them. Don't lie to me, your father, the person that looks after you, the person that takes care of you." So Damon Dash is all in his feelings. He's upset. He's mad at Boogie. Boogie's upset too because he feels like he disappointed his father. And Damon Dash was like, "Oh, yo, so what's going on with you? You unhappy? You don't love your life, you don't like living, you got this vehicle, you got this car, whatever I gave to you, you should have told me, because I would have the option to take away the keys or not. And also, you can kill yourself and kill somebody else, and I'll have regrets if you kill yourself in the car that I'm paying for." So Damon Dash was like, so how much is the attorney fees? And Boogie is like, it's 15,000. And then he was like, oh, so that's gonna mess up, the business, the distributor business that we're in, the marijuana business growing. And all that production stuff and the license is gonna mess up everything. And so, Damon Dash is upset. He's mad at his son, and he tells Boogie, and so Damon Dash was like, "You need some help or something?" And Boogie was like, "I'll take any help. I'll take any help anybody gives me. I'm not gonna deny help or whatever." So Damon Dash was like, you know what? I feel like a sucker. I feel like a herb. I felt like a fool. You played me and all this other stuff. And Damon Dash brings out his girlfriend, and she was like, oh, it's addiction. People have addiction problem, but number one thing is the person gotta want help. And Boogie is like basically saying in his confession that he does want help. But, Damon Dash was like, I'm done. I'm through with this bullshit. You're out. I'm kicking you out because I lost trust in you. So tonight I want all your shit gone. I want you out my crib. And so Boogie calls his boy Romeo, and Boogie lets Romeo know that he needs a place to stay. And, can he crash at his pad for a while Romeo's shooting a video? And, Romeo says yes. So it's so odd to see, like, Boogie and, Romeo grew up in the limelight, grew up with their fathers being in music. But, Romeo was also in music, and he was also in music videos and things like that. And I never really seen Boogie in anything. So, but they have fathers that had very prestigious reputations, and also have reputations not to mess with and about their business. But it's so awkward to see that, Romeo is living a safe life, even though, his boys jumped his boy, at the restaurant or whatever. But Boogie's having like criminal charges that can be filed against him. Boogie could actually go to jail and serve time, and it's going to cost him 15 grand. And it's like, it's hard for him to express that to his father and talk to his father about the situation, because we all know Damon Dash goes off. He gets excited. Damon Dash will make you look like a fool when you're going up against him. He'll make you look stupid. Because remember when he was on a Breakfast Club, Chatty Patty? He don't play no games. And if you watch any old videos of Damon Dash in the studio with Rockefeller, how he cracks on people, make fun of people, he's like a comedian and everything as well. But when he gets mad, he goes in. So, Damon Dash dealt with corporate people cussing him out when he was back in Rockefeller. Like, he has no holds bar, but his son is totally different. And to me, like, that conversation with Boogie and Damon Dash, Boogie was really hurt. Boogie needed help. Boogie was seeking help, and he didn't feel like he could come to his father and tell him that he got this DUI, because he was embarrassed, because he knows how his father was going to react, and plus he was ashamed of what he has done. And he made another mistake that's going to cost money. Then also Boogie continued to lie about the situation when another lawyer came in and he did the background check and the fingerprints. And it's just like, this lie has caught up to him. And, Damon Dash is really upset. And I understand exactly where Damon Dash is coming from, because Damon Dash is a man. He's a father. So fathers are very different than mothers. And fathers really give tough love and show tough love to their sons especially. But, knowing that your son has 2 DUIs and he's not putting down the bottle, it seems like he does need help, that he does need rehab. And it's just, hard. It's hard to see that Damon Dash doesn't think about, okay, hey, I don't want to kick you on the street, but you know what? You're going to go to Betty Fort's right now. You're going to go to Malibu to one of these rehabs. You're going to go to rehab immediately right now. I'm not going to kick you out on the street, but you're going to go to rehab and get clean and find out if there's any depression, why you're not happy, why you keep drinking, why you keep making these mistakes, and for you to detox, because detoxing for alcohol can actually kill you if you do it on your own. That exactly what happened to the guy from True Blood. I don't remember his name, LaFay. So I just wish he would have sent him to rehab and not out on the streets, because that's one of the biggest things in the Black community, is where sometimes we are afraid to come to our parents, afraid to come to them and talk to them about our situation, talk about that we need help, we need assistance, And, the first thing Damon said, what you got, this sounds like some white people shit, some white people problems, but everybody have problems. Sometimes they need help and they need counseling and they need to seek that out. So it is what it is with that situation. So Boogie calls Romeo. Romeo says it's all good. And TT and Egypt, they're in the car on the way to the boxing, party or whatever, to talk about And they talk about the book, and Egypt's depressed about it, she's sad about it, and she's broken, her heart is hurt because her father, that's her hero, she thinks he's a monster now. She's talking to TT about it, TT having regret of letting Egypt read the book and getting the book to Egypt, and now she knows that Pep is gonna come after her, and she totally messed up in that situation. But she messed up when it comes to talking to Pep about, okay, Egypt wants the book or Egypt's gonna read the book. She should have let Pep know, tell her, hey, listen, your daughter really wants to read this book, so I'm gonna get this book to her, or you guys sit down and read it, but it's time for her to know she wants to know. She should have did it that way. But also, TT really felt, even though TT is the gossip person, she runs rumors to rumors, and she runs her mouth. But I think, like, damn, at least somebody gave her the goddamn book. But I think, Egypt could have got the book from anybody if she wanted to. Any of her friends with credit cards could have ordered that book for her to read. It didn't have to be TT. But so at this point, it is TT. This is a storyline, so we just gonna go with it. We're gonna act like Egypt ain't never read this book before. I guess that's what we're gonna do. So then we get to Brianna. Brianna's at her house. She's gonna take some photos or whatever, and she gets a knock at her door. And she runs downstairs to answer the door. And what happens is there's a piece of paper on the door that crosses off her father's face, and then people cut out little magazine letters like look. They cut out look in the magazines so their fingerprints are not on it. Like the oldest crime shit that people do back in the day. I don't know if Brianna did it herself. So Brianna feels like there's a stalker. One of her, her stepmom's stalkers is stalking her because of what her father did to Mary J. and put an X on his face. She's upset. She says the two guys at her house are her real friends, but she said, I do have a real friend, TT. She calls TT, let her know. She's talking about she got a knife. She's talking about, like, if you come up, you run up, you're going to get it. I'm going to kill you, this and that, because this is stand your ground law in California and all this other stuff. So also Brianna says, like, I feel bad for the person that did all the arts and craft, cutting out all these letters and stuff and gluing it to this page. They should have got some money for it. So, what's her name? Brianna's like, they done waste their time and this and that, whatever. And she was like, I got my machete, my best friend. I sleep with my machete. My machete's around. So, Brianna lives a whole different life than, Angela, than DJ, than Vanessa, because, I bet you Vanessa and DJ and, Angela doesn't have to sleep with, a machete. They don't get beat up by their boyfriends, and they never had to eat like Roman noodles like she did just to survive, or be homeless on the street. So that's why it's totally different. So you can see where the envy and the jealousy comes in, and then also just like trying to fit into that world and knowing that you don't fit in, or you can't fit in, even though how hard you try, you just can't. You're damaged. You're like damaged goods. But Brianna's damaged in a way that she can repair her damage and make it a wonderful thing that she's been through. Not a wonderful thing, but make it like a triumphant situation she's been through in her lifetime, and look where she's at now. And she can continue to make it, whether her stepmother is not going to be Mary Jane anymore, but just show like the progressive that you can make from where she came from. But she's still stuck on the past pain and the past abuse, and I totally understand that. She just needs help. So we get to DJ's boxing party. Everybody shows up except for Brianna because she's not invited. Angela doesn't have on her ring and Chrisania kind of like points that out. But thinking about DJ boxing and thinking about Angela boxing, and also what is her name, Chrisania boxing, they might actually can beat down, Brianna. Brianna could probably fight or whatever, but DJ, she's a boxer. She knows how to box, and, Angela trains to box, and so does, Chrisania. She knows how to box, so she would have competition, and she go toe-to-toe with them. So the girls are doing their boxing thing. Egypt, she's so sad. She's so depressed. She's talking about she's going to release some of her anger and her energy out on the boxing, ring or the boxing, thing that she's gonna be punching. So, anyways, then they talk about the rumor with, Chris and Nia. So Vanessa does talk about the rumor with Chris and Nia with, DJ when they went out to eat or whatever, but they said they don't even want to address it. They just feel like they're best friends and that's it. So Adonis shows up to the boxing thing, and TT was like, "Oh, I'm trying to think that they're not together, but everywhere I turn, Adonis is there. Adonis is here. Adonis is there. But if they're best friends, and plus his family lives in a different state, you can understand that. But TT just feels like they got something going on. So let's just keep moving. We'll find out if Chris and Nia has something going on with Adonis. If she does, it's a bad look for her, especially with a family history. But who knows? So, anyways, it's just too much. So Angela's talking to, Chris and Nia, and was like, I'm not really worried about the wedding. I'm not focused on the wedding anymore. That's not my priority. My priority is my child, and that's it. So Chris and Nia is picking up like, okay, Angela is not really feeling too good about this marriage stuff because she's not even talking about it and planning the parties and things like that. So, Chris and Nia is just like, yo, I wish I could be there to support her through all it, through everything that she's going through, but it is what it is. But also DJ brings her best friend there. She is a Jackson. And so Chris and Nia wants to ask this girl about, the Jackson family, ask her about the rumors. But, Chris and Nia was told not to ask, Deja, DJ's best friend, about, the rumors about, Janet Jackson's secret child. So Chris and Nia has to keep her mouth closed and not say anything because she's curious as well. So that is all done. And so then TT, while all the ladies are getting together talking, and in the foyer of the boxing place or whatever establishment, TT brings up Boogie's DUI, and Angela was like, you know what, I don't like rumors, I don't want to believe it, so I'm out. So you can see Angela don't got time for the bullshit. She don't got time for people talking about people that she likes and things like that. And I don't think Angela's close to TT. I really know TT that well, so she's not going to be in no gossip. No one's going to say that Angela said this, Angela did this. Only thing people are going to say about Angela is she's paying people dust and she needs to build her relationship with her sister. That's about it. But she's not going to be in the gossip. And so after that, it kind of shuts TT down. Then Egypt, she jumps in and she starts to cry about her mother's situation. Chris and Nia is so sad about it because she understands where Egypt is coming from because she read the book. So we'll see what happens with that situation. So Boogie goes to, little Romeo's house, and Romeo was like, yo, this is the summer house. This is just like, this is just like one of our little pads. You can have any room you want. You can stay here whenever you need to. Like, it's yours. Like, I need a friend like Romeo. Romeo, can I move in? Can I get a place to stay? And so he was like, yo, you can have a room here, room there, room this and there, But also Master P was like, so what's going on with your boy, Boogie? He was like, oh, he's about to come. He's going to stay in for a while. And so the Master P instantly says like, yo, he's still drinking? Yeah, he's still drinking, Pops, because of the DUI. You just see how close Master P and Romeo are. And so you wish that for Boogie and, Damon Dash. But what's his name? Romeo don't be lying to his father like that. I don't think Romeo would have a DUI and sign papers for a lawyer to do a background check and then put money on that and then not let his father know. I don't think he would do that, but I think Boogie is scared of his father and feels like he can't talk to him like the way he wants to talk to him, or at least tell him, hey, he got away from the first DUI, but he really does have a drinking problem, because Boogie said once he drinks, he can't stop. He was like, it's in his blood. He just needs it. So we'll see what happens with that situation. And so, they start to talk. So Romeo and Boogie start to talk about it, and Boogie is told by Master P and Romeo that family's important. Always keep your family around. Always let your family know what's going on. It's just, it's A1. But if you need me to holler at you, Boogie, I'll holler at you, Boogie. If you need to talk, we need to talk. Master P's out. Master P doesn't have anything negative to say or anything like that. He's not saying, oh, he can't stay here, I don't want you around, Romeo. He understands that his son is doing a good deed and trying to help his friend out. And so Boogie was like, and so Boogie and Romeo starts to talk and kind of like gets depressing about the situation with his father, him getting kicked out. And, Boogie says that he wants to get back to his normal self the way he used to be. So that lets me to believe that there's some turmoil going on inside of Boogie, that he really does need help with it. And he probably needs counseling. Then from counseling to see, does he have, a drinking problem, if he really needs to get help on that situation. But it sounds like he does, because it sounds like he's suffering from depression, and what happens is he's using alcohol to numb himself from any feelings that he is feeling inside that are blocking him from where he needs to go, where he needs to be. So we'll find out. And so Romeo was like, you know what, yep, I understand, so let's just move on. Let me just show you where you're gonna stay at, where you're gonna be at, and all your apartments and stuff. And so then, Boogie's feeling a lot better, but Boogie looks like a lost, person, a lost young man that's dealing with a lot of pain and hurt inside. And there's a lot of things that are just not adding up in his brain that's really causing him to be confused. Instead of trying to figure out what's going on, alcohol cures his pain. And so then we get to, Pep and Egypt. Egypt goes to Pep and was like, and she's crying. She got tears running down her eyes. And she was like, yo, Mom, I read the book. And Pep is like, you read the book? Oh, I thought you wasn't going to read the book until, till you were 90 years old, basically. And so, Egypt was like, everybody read the book. TT gave me the book. So, TT and Egypt, they love throwing people under the bus. That's all you name on the bus easily. So don't tell them anything in private, because they will be like, yo, TT told me this, Egypt told me that. So, she was like, Egypt was like, everybody else read the book. Chris and Nia read the book. She was like, yeah, but they can read the book, blah, blah, blah. And so Egypt was like, but everybody else read the book. I wanted to read it. Everybody else knows what's going on. Else knows what's going on with you. And she was like, my father's a monster. And so, Pep is going to talk to Egypt about the situation. She should have been talked to her daughter about the situation and read the book with her. And then on top of that, have her daughter, go over the book with her father, talk to her father about the situation. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if Tretch makes an appearance. We'll see if Pep is able to get to get Egypt to understand what was going on and why she wrote the book, and maybe he's a changed man, to see how that situation goes down. So anyways, just guys, tell me what you think about the situation. What do you think about the show? What do you think about Boogie? Do you think Boogie really, really needs help? Do you think Boogie is really, really struggling? And do you think it was cool for Damon Dash just to throw his father out in the street? For Damon Dash to throw Boogie out in the street because of his DUI? Or do you think, Damon Dash should have offered him rehab? Or do you think Boogie deserved what happened to him because he lied to his father and had this lawyer come in and sign papers and do a background check, and it might not come up clear? Because when Boogie talked to his lawyer was like, it depends on what kind of background check that they do. You may have a lot of explaining to do, and it possibly could come up. So what do you think about that situation? What do you think about Pep not telling Egypt about the book, or not ever talking to her about the book that's been out and everybody else knows what's going on except for her daughter? Do you think that, she should have been told her Egypt about the book? Do you think TT was wrong for getting Egypt the book or not? Or do you feel that, Egypt could got the book from anybody? Like, her friends could have brought the book for her, So what do you think about the situation? I think she could have even went to the public library and read the book. Who knows? Or she could have went online and read the book. So what do you guys think about that situation? What do you guys think about Angela and Darian? Do you think Angela should reach out more to Darian, or you think Darian's a lost cause, or you think that Darian should reach out to, Angela? So tell me what you think, guys. Peace. I'm out.